It is that time of the year once again. March Madness is back, and this year is going to be a really interesting year. Usually, years past, there's a pretty clear favorite of who's going to win. But this year, you could really make an argument for maybe 10, 11, 12 teams that could win it all, and I wouldn't call you crazy. This year is as wide open as can be. I'm excited. I know you guys are excited. I've been making college basketballs every Monday. Um, and I've been waiting for this. It's the best. It's my favorite time of the year. I mean, this is the greatest. This is the best tournament in the world. I don't care what anybody says. It just is. All the upsets, Cinderella stories, crazy, buzzer beaters. It's just a great time. Especially that first weekend, that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, first and second round. That's some of the some of the greatest games in this tournament happen in the first round. And that first round is starting tomorrow. We have had the first four games. Some of them have been played. Texas A&M Corpus Christi took on Southeast Missouri State yesterday, and Corpus Christi did win. I picked them to win. They were in control for most of the game. Southeast Missouri did make a little bit of a late comeback, but Texas A&M Corpus Christi was able to hold on. And then the better game in my opinion of last night, I think everyone would agree with me, was that 11 seed matchup. Pitt took on Mississippi State. That was a great game. 22 lead changes, I believe, which is the most in tournament history since the most in tournament games since 2018, so 5 years. It was a great back and forth game. Pitt, I don't know who it was, kind of fumbling on the name here. I don't remember what his name was, but he had a shot from the elbow with about 9 seconds left. Mississippi, or seven, I don't know. Mississippi State got the ball. They drove down the court. Uh, they went for a layup, or they called timeout first, but they drove down the court. They went for a layup, and it was blocked by Pitt with about 2.3 seconds to go. They got the inbound into a guy wide open in the quarter from the three. He shot it, and it was just a little off. Um, kind of feel bad for him. I did get those two games right though. I picked the two winners in that. Texas Southern's taking on Fairleigh Dickinson as we speak. Fairleigh Dickinson is currently up. They've been in control for most of the game. I picked them to win, so it's looking like they're gonna win. And then the final first four matchup of the tournament is Arizona State versus Nevada. This West Coast battle. This should be a good game. I've kind of been back and forth of who I'm gonna take. Taking. I'm gonna end up taking Nevada. My gut pick was Nevada. My brain's kind of been convincing me to take Arizona State, but I'm gonna stick with Nevada. I think they've got what it takes. I think to win that first four game. Okay. I think we're just gonna get it right into it. This is this part right here is part of the part that makes this March Madness so special. Um, I tried not to make it chalky. Um, I'm gonna warn you, one of the regions is a little bit chalky, but I can tell you we're gonna have a lot of upsets in here. We're gonna go region by region. Um, Trust me, there's gonna be a lot of upsets here. All right, so first we got Alabama taking on Texas A&M Corpus Christi. They looked good yesterday. I just they're not going to be the number one team in the country. They're just not. Alabama's been on a tear, and I think they should be able to get it done. I want to take a look at something really quick if I can find it. Hold on. Bear with me for a second. Is okay. Alabama is playing tomorrow at 1:45. That's tip time. The spread is currently Alabama by 24. You know what? I'm gonna take Texas A&M Corpus Christi to cover the spread. I don't think they'll win by 24. I mean, Texas A&M Corpus Christi did play a game yesterday, so maybe they'll have a little momentum. But Alabama should be able to win. Maryland, West Virginia. This, this game, I've been back and forth on. I really don't know who to take. The ESPN matchup predictor has a 50.1% chance for West Virginia to win this one. This is probably, in my opinion, the hardest 8-9 to pick. I've switched it so many times. The reason, these two teams they're so close. West Virginia has the 15th rated offense with the 53rd rated defense, and Maryland, both in the middle here, 34 rated offense and 33rd rated defense. Maryland is gonna be the more complete. Well, I don't know if I'd say I'll say well-rounded team. West Virginia's got that high-flying offense, but can struggle on defense at times. The reason I'm taking okay, I'm gonna take West Virginia, and the reason is Maryland cannot. They're one of the best teams in the country at home. You do not want to play them at home, but on the road they really do struggle, and that worries me. I know this is a neutral site, so it's technically not on the road, but I don't know. I can't trust them away from their home court, and West Virginia is in the better conference. I'm gonna trust the Mountaineers, and their coach has a lot of tournament experience. That kind of plays a factor for me. So I'm gonna trust West Virginia to get this done in the first round. The spread is West Virginia is favored by 2. I would take West Virginia to cover. I think they'll win. I think it'll be close. I think they'll win probably by like 5 at the end. All right, San Diego State, Charleston. This is a very trendy upset pick, and I can see why. Charleston's a great team. They have 30 wins on the year, I believe. That is really good. And I could see. I wouldn't be shocked. I can see Charleston winning. They have the 71st rated offense and the 72nd rated defense. They're really a complete team. I wouldn't be shocked if they made it a run here and made it far. But I am gonna take San Diego State. They've got the 63rd rated offense and the 10th rated defense. I'm gonna take San Diego State. A lot of people are gonna disagree with me here, but the reason I feel like so many people are saying Charleston that San Diego State is like the upset. And I really have been low on San Diego State all year, and I've been high on Charleston. I just don't like this matchup here for Charleston. They're not the greatest 3-point shooting team, and San Diego State's defense is going to suffocate them. They might force them to take threes. Charleston's a good team, but I think San Diego State matches up well with them. I think they get the win here. Virginia Furman, this is another trendy upset pick, and I can see why. Virginia, 75th rated offense and the 24th rated defense. Another team I've been low on all year, Virginia. I really don't like Virginia. Furman's got the 33rd rated offense and the 186th rated defense. That defense scares me, but Virginia's offense is nothing special. I think the matchup here will be how Furman shoots the 3 against Virginia's defense. They got 33rd rated offense, like I said, and Virginia a little bit better of a defense, 24th. But I am going to take Furman. I think the Paladins, I think they knock off Virginia. I don't like Virginia, and I feel like they get upset early a lot. So I'm going to take Furman. I'm going to trust Furman. I like their offense, and I think when you take an upset pick, you want to pick the team that has I mean, if there's a high in both categories, then yeah, you pick them. But if most of the time there's not with these lower seeds, you want to find a team that has a high in either offense or defense. Well, I'll talk about that again later. Um, for another upset. But yeah, oh, and these rankings are off KenPom. I'm sure you all know that website. All right, Creighton, NC State. NC State, you made the tournament. Good job. You're losing first round though. Creighton's a really good team. 21-12. They had a rough skid in the middle of the season, losing six in a row, but they're a really solid team. 27th offense and 16th in defense. Really well-rounded team. I actually really like Creighton's chances here. Baylor is a team that scares me. The number 2 rated offense, but the 104th defense. I'm gonna take them past UCSB. Um, but I, I mean, they could go far with their dominant offense. The thing is, though, I don't know if I see it. But I mean, we'll see. They got a matchup with Creighton, so we'll talk about that in a bit. Um, all right, Utah State, Missouri, another great game. Utah State's 13th in offense and 64th in defense, and Missouri. Let's see where Missouri's at. Missouri is 10th in offense, but 179th in defense. This is another game I was back and forth on. I'm gonna take Utah State. I think they're the more well-rounded team. Uh, 13th in offense, 64th in defense. I think they should be able to slow Missouri down a little bit. And their offense, I feel like Missouri's defense is just not good enough to stop their offense. Sorry if you hear me sniffling. I'm a little sick right now, but I think Utah State has what it takes to take down Missouri. Arizona, 4th in offense and 41th in defense. That's gonna get them ahead of Princeton. Princeton's probably, in my opinion, the weakest 15 seed. They beat Yale. That was kind of an upset. Yale, I was considering taking as an upset. But they didn't make the tournament. So, all right. Alabama, West Virginia. Sadly, I think this is where West Virginia's run comes to an end. I could see them winning. I could. I'm gonna trust Alabama. Number 2 ranked team on KenPom, 19th in offense and 3rd in defense. They're a really good team with Brandon Miller. They're actually 4th in tempo. They go fast. And West Virginia has a good offense. They might be able to keep up actually, but Alabama also has the 3rd rated defense. And Brandon Miller can take over a game at any second. I'm gonna trust Brandon Miller in Alabama. San Diego State and Furman. I like Furman's offense, and I really do. I don't think it will be enough to get over San Diego State, though. I think San Diego State should be able to take care of the Furman Paladins. And San Diego State making it to the Sweet 16. I really didn't expect myself to be taking them this far. But I feel like they got a good little group of 4 right here to make it to the Sweet 16. They match up with all of these teams really well. Maybe not against Virginia, but I'm playing Virginia here, so. Alright, Creighton Baylor. This is a very interesting game. I could see going either way. KenPom is really high on Creighton. And teams like Baylor who have a really high in one category and really low in another. I know that's how I told you to pick upsets, but with higher seeds, that's a really good formula to get upset. And I'm going to take Creighton to knock off Baylor. Creighton is a team that scares me. They're a little inconsistent. I'm going to take them to beat Baylor, though. I think they match up really big. Baylor's problem all year has been stopping big men, and Creighton has a really good big man. I forgot his name. Alright, whatever. But you know who I'm talking about. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. But all right, Utah State, Arizona. This is another game. I really, really, really like Utah State. Arizona, they're a really good team. They just won the Pac-12. I think um, I'm gonna take Utah State. This might come to a surprise for some people. I like Utah State in this matchup. I trust their offense, and Arizona's defense is nothing special. They have a really good offense. The Utah State defense is nothing to look past either. They're not bad. All right, Alabama, San Diego State. Sadly, I think the Aztecs fall to Alabama here. I, I mean, I don't know if I like this just because I could see Charleston beating them in the first round. But I'm gonna roll with the Aztecs here. I am gonna roll with the Aztecs. All right, Creighton, Utah State. Again, I think this is where the run comes to an end for Utah State. They're gonna be having all that momentum after beating Arizona and Missouri, two pretty good teams. But they are gonna have to wait 4 or 5 days till they play their next game, um, which I feel like that's the difference. You see runs in the first 2 rounds to get to the Sweet 16, but a lot of times that's where the team's runs come to an end just because of that big break in between. So yeah, I'm gonna take Creighton over Utah State. Finally, in the Elite Eight, Creighton, Alabama. This will be a fun matchup. I'm gonna take the Crimson Tide. I don't see Creighton making the Final Four. I do like Creighton in this tournament. I've been high on them all year. But I'm going to take Alabama to end the Blue Jays' run in the Elite Eight. So that puts Alabama as the first team in the Final Four. I wasn't. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't really at the beginning. I know. Okay, so at the start of March Madness. Actually, I will tell you that. I'll say that for that. Okay. Houston over Northern Kentucky. They're not gonna lose. Iowa and Auburn. This is a really interesting game. Another game I was back and forth on. These 8-9s and 7-10s are really tough to pick this year. With a few exceptions, but Iowa and Auburn. I've been back and forth on this. I mean, Iowa's got one of the best offenses in the country, but sometimes they just come out cold. The last time they played, I mean, was it Wednesday? So that would be about a whole week. I just feel like they're gonna come out rusty against Auburn. Auburn is a bad team away from home, but this game is in Birmingham, Alabama. Auburn will have a big crowd. It will be like a home game for them. And their defense is really good. I feel like their defense could slow down Iowa's offense a little bit. But the reason I am picking Auburn ultimately is because I feel like Iowa's offense is going to slow down itself. I know they have a really good one, but if they can't hit shots, they're just going to get killed. They really are. Yeah. All right, Miami Drake. This is a very trendy upset pick again. Miami's a little bit banged up, and Drake's a pretty good team. Out of the Missouri Valley, 99th in offense and 46th in defense. This is going to be a back and forth battle. This is a really tough game to pick. It's a really tough game. I'm gonna take Miami. I feel like their offense is gonna their offense should be able to pressure Drake enough, and I feel like Drake might just crumble in the last few minutes, and Miami might go on a run. I could see something like that happening. I'm gonna take Miami. Indiana, Kent State. I really thought about taking Kent State here. the reason I am taking Indiana is because who's guarding Trace Jackson Davis? They don't have anyone to guard him. They really don't. So I'm gonna take Indiana for that reason. Iowa State and Pittsburgh. Another game. This is a tough game. Pittsburgh's a really a good 3-point shooting team, and they looked good yesterday. They really impressed me. Um, Iowa State's a good defensive team, but they can be inconsistent at times, and that's what worries me. I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. They played yesterday. They looked really good. They're gonna have that momentum from yesterday, and coming off a win over a good Mississippi State team, Iowa State will have not played in about a week. And you always see a first four team go far. You just always do. It happens. I mean, you'll always see a first four team win in the first round, if not win the second round. Xavier, Kennesaw State. I've been seeing some people take Kennesaw State, but I'm not gonna do that. I did not mean to click them there. I'm gonna trust Xavier. They're a pretty good team. I had picked them to win the Big East. They came close. They lost in the championship game. They don't look particularly all too good in that game, but I'm gonna trust Xavier here again. But I haven't seen people take Kennesaw State. It wouldn't shock me, but if they were paired up against a different 14 seed, like maybe who's the other 14? Montana State. I mean, I could see that, but I'm not gonna take it. I'm gonna trust Xavier. Texas A&M, Penn State. This is another really, really, really tough game to pick. The numbers say Penn State. Texas A&M got screwed a little. They got underseeded. They should have been a 6. Who do you take to a 7? I don't know, but Texas A&M got a little underseeded. And Penn State's red hot. I know they just lost to Purdue, but they are hot. They're playing the best basketball at the best time. Texas and Colgate. I'm gonna be honest. I had Colgate, but I'm taking Texas. And this may come back to bite me. Colgate is the best 3-point shooting team in the country, but Texas did just win the Big 12, and I think that's the difference here. That's making me take Texas, but I'm really excited to watch that game. This could be, if any 15 people do it, it will be Colgate. This could be the year, this could be the third year in a row that we see a 15 seed knock off a 2 seed. But I'm going to trust Texas. Houston, Auburn. This game, again, will be in Birmingham, Alabama. That scares me. That really does. Auburn could make some noise against Houston. Their defense is really good. And if Houston doesn't have Marcus Sasser, their best player, things could get a little tight. I'm going to trust Houston. They've been the best team for most of the year. But I really wouldn't be shocked. And you always see an 8-9 seed take down a 1 seed in the second round. It happens every year. But I'm gonna take Houston here. I don't think Auburn will have enough to stop Houston. Miami, Indiana. Pretty interesting 5-4 matchup. I wanna trust Indiana though. I like Trace Jackson Davis and Jalen Hutchinson. I think they should be able to get it done. Pitt and Xavier. Pitt will have coming off 2 wins. I'm going to take them again. I think their shooting gets them to the Sweet 16. And I just think they'll be hot. I mean, they were going off the momentum of 2 wins. Pitt's a scary team. They looked good. They shoot the 3 ball really well. They are without their starting center, but they didn't look like they had too much problems last night. I'm gonna take Pitt over Xavier, and like I said, you always see a first 4 team go far. Penn State, Texas. I'm taking Texas here. The reason this does kind of scare me a little. Um, Taking Texas far, I think Texas will be able to stop Penn State, slow Jalen Pickett down, and their other guy, I don't remember his name. But I mean, Texas has the number 11 defense and number 18 offense. They're a really solid team. And I like that they played through adversity with losing their head coach Chris Beard. I like that in teams. It's kind of the reason I picked Alabama here. Houston, Indiana. This would be a really good game. I'm taking Houston though. I trust Houston. I really do. Marcus Sasser is on the first team, the first team All American in the country this year. He's been phenomenal. Houston has a really good team. They made the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight the past 2 years, and their whole team is back from that. They have tournament experience. Besides Trace Jackson Davis, I don't even think did they make tournament? I don't know. They might have last year. I don't think they did, but besides Trace Jackson Davis, Indiana really doesn't have too much tournament experience, and I think that's where Houston gets them. And I think Texas takes down Pittsburgh as well. That Sweet 16 is the difference maker. You go from you gotta wait 4 or 5 days to play your next game, and I feel like that's where a lot of teams those are a lot of teams' runs come to an end. Houston, Texas, Houston versus Texas. This would be a really good game to get to the Final Four, which is in Houston, Texas. A big advantage for both teams. I'm taking Houston though. The number 4 defense and the number 11 offense. Number 1 on KenPom. This is the numbers. The numbers have Houston. The eye test says Houston. Which kind of scares me. I feel like there's so much going for them that I could see something going wrong for them, if that makes sense. Down to the bottom side of the bracket, we got Purdue versus Fairleigh Dickinson. It looks like they're currently up 18 with 4 minutes to go. They should be able to get there. But Purdue, who's going to stop Zach Edey for Fairleigh Dickinson? The answer is nobody. Zach Edey might go for 45, and Purdue should be able to take care of business pretty easily. Memphis over FAU. I haven't really been high on FAU all year, and I picked Memphis to win the American, and they did that for me. So good for the Tigers. They looked good doing it, and they're hot. They have a dynamic duo over in Memphis. I'm really high on Memphis. This was the hardest game to pick in the first round. I'm gonna be honest, it was. Duke. I mean, I'm still back and forth on this because Duke is so hot, and Oral Roberts is. They have Max Aceman still, and they have a 7'5" guy who shoots threes, by the way. I'm taking Oral Roberts. I feel like they did this on purpose. Duke and Oral Roberts. This game's gonna be crazy. I have Oral Roberts. Tennessee and Louisiana. I'm not high on Tennessee, but I am gonna take Tennessee. KenPom is high on Tennessee. 2 in defense, 48 in offense. I don't know. I trust them more than Louisiana. Louisiana's not that strong of a 13 seed. Kentucky Providence. A lot of people are taking Providence. I don't know why. Kentucky's a really good team. I really don't see it. I'm going to take Kansas State over Montana State. Michigan State over USC. I didn't think USC deserved to be in. And you can never count Tom Izzo out in March. And I'm going to take Marquette. A little bit of chalk in the first round, but trust me, it's not going to be chalk for much longer. This is the region where there's probably the most chaos. Yeah, this is the region. So, well, I mean, that first region was kind of, but I would consider this one more. maybe. I don't know. You guys can decide. Which region has more chaos, the East or the South? You guys can decide. Memphis and Purdue. A lot of people like Memphis in this matchup. Memphis runs the press to I mean, they run the press really good. And guess what? Purdue's weakness is the press. They match up really well. The only thing that worries me is who's going to stop Zach Edey. They do have a good center, but he's not that big. He's like 6'9". He gets a lot of boards, but Zach Edey's 7'4". That does worry me a bit. They have a really talented guard, Memphis. I'm blanking on the names today, but you can look it up. I mean, they have two guys that are really good. Purdue really only has one, and Penny Hardaway's a great coach. I mean, Memphis is hot too. Everything's pointing Memphis, and I'm taking Memphis. The only thing that scares me is Zach Edey, of course. That guy's a beast. That's the one thing that worries me. He can take over a game. And I'm a little concerned of who's going to guard him for Memphis. That's all. Oral Roberts, Tennessee. Give me Oral Roberts, baby. Give me the Golden Eagles over the Volunteers. I don't like Tennessee, and they just lost their starting point guard. So Max Abmas is going to have a day. Calling it right now. Kentucky, Kansas State. I'm not that high in Kansas State, and I am high in Kentucky. Give me the Wildcats. And then Marquette and Michigan State. A lot of I wouldn't say a lot. Some people are taking Michigan State. You can never count Tom Izzo out in March. I'm gonna take Marquette though. I think a lot of you thought I was taking Michigan State. This is where I see a lot of people having a lot of their upsets, and I mean, you can see here an 8, 12, 6, and 2 Sweet 16. Memphis and Oral Roberts. This will be a great game. I'm gonna take Memphis though. I like Memphis. And then Kentucky Marquette. I'm gonna take Marquette. Their offense is too good, and their defense is underrated. They're not horrible. Calipari will take them to the Sweet 16, but I don't think they get past Marquette, which sets up an Elite Eight matchup: Memphis versus Marquette. This would be a great game. It would be a really high-paced game, a fun watch. But give me Marquette. I'm high on Marquette. They really impressed me in the Big East tournament. I had them losing to UConn, and then when they won, I was surprised. But I did things. I mean, Xavier blew out Creighton in that tournament, and I thought Xavier was gonna beat Marquette too. But Marquette just after that scare against St. John's, they looked good against UConn. They looked good. They looked really good against Xavier. And yeah, Marquette's hot. I like Marquette. They've been a good team all year. And Shaka Smart's a great coach. So give me Marquette to the Final Four. Kansas versus Howard. Yeah, that's Kansas. Arkansas and Illinois. This game, you know, it's tough. It's really tough, really close. I'm gonna take Arkansas. I've been high on them all year though. Terrence Shannon Jr. I don't think will be enough for Illinois. Taking VCU over St. Mary's. This is gonna be a very defensive battle, and I think I trust VCU. They just won the A-10. St. Mary's did not win. And they got blown out. I think VCU should be able to get this 5-12 upset. Give me UConn over Iona. Iona's a good 13 seed. They're actually really good, and Rick Pitino's a great coach. But according to KenPom, UConn is one of the greatest teams. Not the greatest, one of the best teams in college basketball. So give me UConn. I'm going to take TCU over this playing. I like Arizona State. I like Nevada, but I don't think they'll beat TCU. TCU is a good team. Give me Gonzaga over Grand Canyon. Northwestern and Boise State. This is one of the hardest games to pick. I've said that a lot, but it's not the hardest. But Um, this is a really hard game to pick, but I'm gonna lean Boise State. I know they've lost 3 of their last 5. I know that, but they're not a bad team. I know Northwestern has Boo Buie, and he can take over a game, that's for sure. But Boise State, um, number 79 in offense, but number 14 in defense. This is going to be a very defensive battle. Boise State is actually ranked 31 on KenPom, and Northwestern is actually 42 with the 109th ranked offense and the 13th ranked defense. The statistics make me want to say Boise State, so that's what I'm going to do. So they both have a little bit of struggle on offense, but Northwestern with the 13th defense and Boise State with the 14th, although Boise State's offense is ranked 30 places higher than Northwestern. I think that's the difference maker. So give me Boise over Northwestern. And then UCLA and UNC Asheville. UNC Asheville is a pretty good team. They're actually third in the country in 3-point percentage, but give me UCLA. I like UCLA. I'm high on them. Kansas, Arkansas. Give me Kansas. But I don't really have Arkansas is a young team. They got some talented players, but and Eric Musselman is a great coach, but Bill Self is an even better coach. Give me Kansas. TCU, UConn. Give me UConn. I'm high on the UConn train. So yeah, give me UConn. TCU and Gonzaga. Give me Gonzaga. I mean, their offense is the best in the country. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, they don't play anyone. They play in the West Coast Conference. But their out-of-conference schedule is the 11th in the country. So, yeah, they do play. They did in the earlier part of the year, and they did get exposed a little, but they've gotten better as the season gone on. Their offense has been amazing, and I'm going to take them here. UCLA and Boise. Give me UCLA over Boise. I'm high on them. UConn, Kansas. I'm back and forth. You can take UConn though. On KenPom, Kansas is 29th in offense and 7th in defense, and UConn is actually 6th in offense and 18th in defense. Stats at UConn. I'm gonna trust KenPom once again. Give me UConn. Gonzaga, UCLA. I think UCLA should be able to beat Gonzaga in a rematch. I think they get their revenge over Gonzaga. So yeah, UConn, UCLA, Final Four. This will be a fantastic game. The number 3 team on KenPom versus the number 4 team. 25th offense and the number 1 defense in UCLA taking on the number 6 offense and the number 18 defense. That would be a great matchup. UCLA is without Jalen Clark. He was one of their starters. He tore his ACL. And their center is also out for the Pac-12 tournament. I think he should be able to be back, though. And I think he'll be back enough in time for the team to take on UConn's dominant center. So give me UCLA. And I think, that injury to Jalen Clark, I think I'm going to motivate them. I think some guys will step up. He was the best defender in college basketball. Part of the reason why UConn's number 1 in defense. But I think other people will step up, and I think UCLA gets to the Final Four. All right, so he's setting up a 1 versus 2 on each side of the Final Four. Indy, Houston. These would be great games. Alabama, Marquette. I don't think Marquette gets the national championship. I just don't. I think Alabama's got what it takes to get there. I'm going to take Alabama. Houston, UCLA. I've been back and forth on this game. They both have a lot of tournament experience. This game is so tough to pick. It's so tough. Houston, it's basically a home game for Houston. It's in Houston. UCLA is in California, and the game is. I already said the game's in Houston, but Houston is obviously from Houston. It's number 1 versus what is it? Is it Number 1 versus number 3 on KenPom. Uh, this this is so tough. Give me UCLA. I know it's in Houston. I know. I think Houston will fold under pressure. They play in a pretty weak conference. Their only other competition is Memphis, who I had making the Elite Eight, but give me UCLA. It sets up an Alabama UCLA championship game. Two amazing teams. Who I'm taking though. This may be a surprise to some people. Well, actually, I want to say that I'm taking Alabama. I'm taking the Crimson Tide to win it all. I usually don't take the number 1 overall team. I haven't in the past couple of years. But I am. I'm gonna be. I'll say something here. I'm on a 2-game national championship uh, prediction. I don't know how you say it. Streak. I took Baylor 2 years ago, and I did take Kansas last year. And I'm taking Alabama. So do what you want with that. But I think Alabama has the most complete team in the country this year. I like their matchup. I think they have a pretty easy region. I think they should be able to get to the Final Four. Now, depending on who they match up with there, I think they match up good against Marquette. And UCLA will be a tough matchup, but I think, Alabama will make a pay. I trust Brandon Miller. He is a dog. There's a reason why he's number 4. He's the number 4. He's projected to go number 4 in the NBA draft next year. He is insane. One of the first team All-American, I believe. He is just an amazing player. Actually, was he? I don't know if he was. I think he was. But I trust him to come in clutch at when they need him to. Before UCLA had those 2 big injuries, I was gonna take UCLA to win it all. Actually, I still haven't made the national championship, but I think that injury to Jalen Clark is really big. It's really tough. He's the best defender in college basketball, and of course he had to get injured right before March Madness. I was gonna take him too, but I'm gonna take Alabama for the score. I don't know. Give me Alabama. Give me Alabama 74 to 68. Yeah, that's my score prediction. That's my March Madness bracket. I'll go back. I'll go through it one more time. I'll show you all the picks I have. These are my picks for this. I had Alabama Creighton, and I took Alabama. In the Midwest, I had Houston versus Texas, and I took Houston. In the East, I had Memphis versus Marquette, and I took Marquette. And then in the West, I had UConn, UCLA, and I took UCLA. In the Final Four, Alabama over Marquette and UCLA over Houston, and then Alabama over UCLA in the championship game. So yeah, those are my March Madness predictions. We'll probably make a video. I'll probably make a video for 2nd round predictions. I think that would be fun. So we'll probably do that. But yeah, that's the video. It's been a fun year. Obviously we're not done. It's just beginning. It's about to start. It's just beginning. It's the best time of the year, so enjoy it. Good luck to you in your bracket pools and groups and all the money you got on the line for some of these games. Good luck to everyone. Let me know who you guys took. What was your Final Four and who you took to win it all in the comments. Yeah, we make college basketball videos all year, and we do make college football videos as well. After the college basketball season, we might start doing NBA. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, we're really just a football basketball channel here. So subscribe if you're new. And yeah, enjoy March Madness, everyone.